Find a photograph of yourself from 10 years ago. Look at it for a moment. That is you. Your name, your history, the same single thread of memory running from that moment to this one. And yet, almost nothing in that photograph is still here. The cells in that body have very nearly all been replaced. The opinions that person held with such confidence, you have quietly dropped half of them. The things that worried them that year. Most of those worries never happened, and the ones that did, that person survived. So, that is you, and that person is gone. Both of those are true, at the same time. And sitting inside that strange, completely ordinary fact is one of the most important things the Buddha ever taught. He noticed 3 things. Not about people especially, about everything. About every object, every feeling, every relationship, every version of yourself. And he taught that if you could really see these 3 things, clearly, steadily, without flinching away, your relationship to your entire life would quietly change. He called them the 3 marks of existence. They are Anicca, that nothing stays, Dukkha, that nothing fully satisfies, and Anatta, that nothing is a fixed, separate self. 3 words in Pali. Don't worry about gripping them. We're going to walk through each one slowly, the way you might walk through 3 rooms of the same house, because that's closer to what they are. Not 3 separate doctrines stacked up, but 3 windows looking onto a single thing. Let's start with the one you already know in your body, even if you've never given it a name. Anicca. Nothing stays. This is the most obvious of the 3, and it is also the one we burn the most energy denying. You know it's true. Of course you know. Everything you have ever owned has broken, been lost, or is quietly on its way to one of those 2. Every person you love is changing, and so are you. And the relationship between you is not what it was a year ago. Better, perhaps, or worse, but not the same. The song that meant everything to you when you were 19 plays now, and you feel only a faint echo where the whole world used to be. The argument that kept you awake 3 years ago, try to reconstruct it now. You can barely find it. This is Anicca. Not a sad fact, not a tragedy, just a fact, as plain as weather. It runs at every scale, which is part of why it's hard to hold. There is the impermanence of a single day, a mood that felt total at breakfast and is simply gone by lunch. There is the impermanence of a decade, the version of you that wanted things you would not want now. And there is the impermanence that operates so slowly, we treat it as solid ground. Bodies, friendships, cities, the whole arrangement of a life. None of it is the exception. The slow ones only look permanent because they outpace our attention. The hardest form of Anicca is watching it in someone you love. A parent getting older, a child becoming a person you have to get to know again every couple of years. A friendship that was once the center of your week, now warm but quiet. We tend to feel these as small griefs, as things going slightly wrong. They are not going wrong, they are simply Anicca, working in the people closest to us, which is the place it is hardest to grant. Here is where it gets interesting. You know all of this. And yet very nearly all of your suffering comes from living as though it weren't true. You make a plan, and then you become attached to the plan holding still, and you feel each change to it as an offense. You arrive at a genuinely good moment, and you grip it. You try to press it flat so it can't move, which is the single most reliable way to stop actually being inside it. You meet one version of a person you love, and you want that version to be the permanent one, and when they change, as every living thing changes, you feel it as a kind of betrayal rather than as the most natural event in the world. Now, the Buddha is not asking you to stop loving things because they're impermanent. That is a common reading of this teaching, and it is simply wrong. He is asking you to love things as what they actually are: temporary, moving, on loan, held, not owned. And there is a specific freedom that comes out of this. 2 freedoms, really. The first, when you stop quietly demanding that good things stay, you can finally be in them while they are here. The grip and the presence cannot happen at the same time. Loosen the grip even slightly, and the moment floods back in. The second freedom is the one people miss. Anicca is not only about good things ending. When something hard arrives, a grief, a fear, a season of your life that feels unbearable, Anicca is quietly on your side, because the hard thing is also subject to the law. The worst night of your life obeys the same rule as the best one. Nothing stays, including this, especially this. So that is the first mark. Now the second, and some of you will have met it before, Dukkha. Nothing fully satisfies. If you've watched our teaching on the Four Noble Truths, you have already sat with this word, so I will keep it shorter here. Dukkha has earned a whole teaching of its own, but it belongs inside this set of three, and it is worth seeing exactly why. Dukkha is what happens when Anicca meets a mind that wants permanence. It is the friction between the two. There's an old image for it, a cartwheel turning on an axle that doesn't quite fit the hole. The cart still rolls, but every single rotation has a small catch in it, a little hitch, a little not quite right. That is the texture of ordinary experience for most people, most of the time. You get the thing you wanted, and there is a quiet voice that says already, almost before you felt the having of it, what's next? Not because you are broken, not because you are bad at being content, but because you handed a permanent demand to an impermanent world, and the gap between those two things is felt, moment to moment, as a low and constant unsatisfactoriness. So here's the link, the thing to actually carry. Anicca is simply the world being what it is. Dukkha is the suffering that comes from arguing with it. And the third mark is the one underneath both of those. It is the hardest of the three, the strangest, and the one that, if it genuinely lands, changes the most. Anatta. There is no fixed, separate self. Now, be careful here. Slow down with me. This is the most misunderstood teaching in all of Buddhism, and the misunderstanding can sound quite deep and spiritual while being completely wrong. Anatta does not mean you don't exist. You are here. You are listening. Something is having this experience right now. The Buddha never denied that, not once. What anatta means is that the you that is here is not a fixed thing. It is not a small permanent core sitting somewhere behind your eyes, unchanged since birth, that owns your experiences and watches them go by. When you actually look for that core, and the Buddha's invitation is precisely that you look, not that you believe him, you do not find it. You find a process. Try it now, gently. No strain. Where exactly is the self? Is it the body? The body of you at 7 years old and the body of you now share almost no physical material at all. Is it your thoughts? Your thoughts arrive and depart entirely on their own. You can sit and watch them turn up uninvited. Is it your personality, your preferences, your positions? Those have changed, and you know they have changed because you can clearly remember holding the opposite ones and being sure. Is it the thread, the felt sense of continuity, of being one ongoing person? That thread is real. But a thread is not a thing. A thread is a relationship between moments. What you find when you look is not a noun. It is a verb. Self is something happening, not something stored. You are not a stone that the river flows around. You are the flowing. Now, I want to name the fear because if this teaching is landing at all, a part of you has already flinched. If there is no fixed self, the fear says, then what is the point? What survives? Who is doing any of this? It can feel for a moment like the floor going, but sit with the flinch instead of obeying it and look at what it's actually afraid of. It is afraid of losing a thing you never had. You have never at any point in your life been a fixed self. You have always been this flowing process, and the flowing is exactly what has carried you, alive and learning, through every year so far. Anatta does not take the floor away. It tells you the floor was always a river, and the river was always holding you up. Nothing is lost. A false idea is simply set down. And here is the relief hidden inside it, which is the whole reason the Buddha taught it. If the self is a fixed thing, then every flaw in it is permanent. Every mistake is simply who you are. Every label sticks forever because there is a fixed thing for it to stick to. But if the self is a process, if it is a verb being remade gently and constantly, then the person who was unkind last year is not a sentence you are serving. They were a pattern, and patterns, unlike stones, can be practiced differently. Anatta is not the loss of you. It is the discovery that you were never locked. Let me bring the 3 marks down out of the abstract, because that is where they actually live. Let's walk them through a single ordinary day. You wake up, and before you are even fully conscious, there is a mood, let's say a low gray one. It feels the way moods always do, like a permanent fact about the world. By mid-morning, it has lifted and you cannot quite remember it. That is Anicca. The mood was weather, not climate. You get a piece of good news. For about an hour, it is wonderful, and then the wonderful fades to normal, and a quiet part of you starts scanning for the next good thing. That is dukkha. The catch in the wheel, the inability of even a genuinely good event to fully and finally satisfy. Someone is short with you, and the mind immediately builds a solid character out of it. This is who they are. This is what they think of me. And then you remember they were warm yesterday and will likely be warm tomorrow. That there is no fixed them, only a person moving through their own day. That is anatta. The solid character your mind built was a convenience, not a truth. And in the evening you catch yourself, briefly, gripping the day, wishing the weekend away, or wishing the good part back. All 3 marks in one Tuesday. They are not philosophy. They are the actual texture of the hours you already live. So let's hold the 3 of them together now. Dukkha. Nothing fully satisfies. Nothing is a fixed, separate self. Notice that they are really one observation, seen from 3 sides of the same room. Because things do not stay anicca, gripping them produces friction, and that friction is dukkha. And the gripper itself, the self that is doing all this holding and defending, is also not a fixed thing. It is anatta. It's a flowing process, which means it is a process that can learn slowly to hold more lightly. The Buddha's claim, and it is a large one, so let it be large, is that seeing these 3 clearly is not depressing. It is the exact opposite. The depression lives in the denial. It is genuinely exhausting to spend a whole life insisting that things should stay, that they ought to satisfy, that you are a fixed and solid thing who must be defended at every moment against every change. The 3 marks set that entire burden down. They say very simply, it moves. It always moved. And so do you. And that is not the bad news, that is the doorway. Here is something to carry into your week. Pick one of the 3, only one, maybe Anicca. And for a few days when you catch yourself gripping a good moment, trying to freeze it, to photograph it instead of live it, see if you can loosen the grip just slightly and be inside it instead. And when something hard sits on you, try the other half. This too is Anicca. This too is moving. This is weather. Or maybe Anatta. And when you catch yourself saying, I'm just someone who, followed by some old flaw, notice what you've just done. You've described a fixed thing, and it isn't a fixed thing. The pattern is real, but it is, very quietly, available to be practiced another way. The same applies to the people who frustrate you. There is no fixed them, either, only a process you happen to meet on a hard hour of their day. You do not need all 3 at once. The Buddha taught them as a set, but a set is still walked one step at a time. Take the one that spoke to you most today and just watch for it. That watching is the whole practice. The seeing is the freedom. Thank you for sitting with this. If it was useful, if it gave you even one thing to carry into your week, then subscribing is how the next teaching finds its way back to you. New ones arrive through the week. Until then, be gentle with yourself and with the people around you.